welcome to the circus that is the Year of Shame Challenge Podcast 2. I am your announcer, Adam, and as always, I am joined by Justin the Juggler and Colm the Clown. How are you doing, guys?
Good evening.
You're loving these intros now, aren't you?
I know.
He's really gone to town with them.
I don't think about them a lot before. I always think when I'm driving, like the day before, I take a couple of minutes to think of something. And that's what I came up with today.
Well, I hope you don't take your mind off the driving.
No, obviously. You know, wait till a quiet stretch of road and sit scribbling notes. No, I'm joking.
Well, you live in the wilderness, don't you? I thought every road's quiet.
There are lots of roads quietly around here, but also plenty of busy highways that I hate. I got trapped on one going the wrong way today, actually.
Well, they do drive on the wrong side of the road.
That still confuses me. Not even joking. I still have to take a second to think, wait, which way am I going? Anyway, guys, without further ado, we're going to tumble straight into what have we been playing. And let's go with Justin first.
Okay, so last month I had been playing Persona 4 Arena, and I'm glad to say that I have beaten that. I've now finished every story campaign and all of the unlockable characters. I then discovered that after playing through the actual story, which, for want of a better phrase, is an interactive novel with a few fights cut in the middle of it.
Okay.
If you go for the arcade mode, it basically just really condenses that down to you have a fight, you move on to the next area. Oh, hello, who's this? What are you doing? And then you have another fight, rather than 30 minutes of text followed by you have a fight.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, glad I've moved that one onto the pile. Safe to say, it's a rewarding game to play, but will only be one that's brought out for like games nights now, I think.
Yeah.
But
does it have online multiplayer?
Yeah, it does. It does. The biggest thing is it means that as and when Persona 5 comes out, I'll be up to date with the story
without having had to play all of them.
Yeah, and
the
hopefully
actual Persona games. Yeah.
Hopefully, my Year of Shame will be ended by the time that comes round.
You never know.
So I've beaten that, and I had a bit of a dabble into Hearthstone on online Blizzard card game, and went through the tutorial. I got the mage deck up to level 20, and then I've kind of put that to one side because other things are taking on. I was really playing that in between my actual rounds on Persona. So now I'm playing something which you'll be relieved to hear. I've got a bit further, and I am playing BioShock.
Finally. How far into BioShock have you got?
Okay,
man?
now I have discovered I am playing this on hard.
Hard without the chambers hard, or just...
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? Because I'm obviously dying a lot, and I'm obviously reloading the dying. And I've got as far as the first, frozen room. In fact, no, I've got to the submarine. There you go. That's where I've got to.
Oh, right. Okay, I know exactly where you are. Okay.
Yeah. So I've just been told don't press that button, and I've saved it there. And obviously, I'm gonna press that button.
Are you completely you've stayed spoiler free with this all completely?
Well, I know that there's a giant plot twist which is supposed to be something like you've been put in the wrong mindset, and so suddenly you're going to find out that you've not been doing this of your own free will all along, and someone's been coercing you, or something like that.
Okay.
But I've so far I'm 3 for 3 on Big Daddies and saving little sisters.
Awesome.
But what nobody told me is that there are only so many little sisters per level, and that if you follow a Big Daddy around for 20 minutes, he's not going to keep banging on walls and eventually find another little sister.
No. Yeah, it's like a finite amount.
Yeah. And what you don't want to do is have a firefight with some random person wandering around in the level and just happen to, throw a fireball at him or something and just clip the edge of a Big Daddy who's wandering around of his own, minding his own business, because he gets a little bit upset.
He does.
And, I was a bit disappointed that you don't get anything for trying to kill them if they're not protecting little sister. They're just random.
Oh, just random spawns of them, yeah.
So I did kind of expect them after I harvested or saved the little sister. I did kind of think that they would just cease to be, but yeah, like you say, they just respawn and just keep walking around and banging on walls and minding their own business. But I've worked out that on hard, the best way to do it is to hack just about everything I can and basically lure the big daddies into an area where I have 4 or 5 turrets mounted and then just hide.
Yeah, that's a good time. Like I said to you before, like there's a lot of fun tactics you can come up with.
Yeah, I think I've just unlocked the ability to basically tag them with a security camera, so I can get myself spotted and then put all the aggro onto them.
Oh yeah. I remember that one too.
So that might be the next way. I'll stop hacking all the cameras now.
Yeah, it's cool though how you find a new tactic.
Are you enjoying it?
Well, I'm not hating it.
That's good.
That's a definite improvement over before.
Yeah, like before you definitely 100% hated it and it baffled me.
Well, I put it down about 3 times. So now that I'm not like a bit of time on this and a bit of time on something else, I'm just getting on with it. As soon as it's done, I can get rid of it and then I can go back to. Well, it's got to be Assassin's Creed Brotherhood next month.
Yeah.
Which of course Colm's waiting for me to start playing so that we can get in on that as well.
Yeah.
The only other
I loved Bioshock.
Sorry,
I love Bioshock,
and many people do. And the only other thing I've played, I have been playing a little bit of Soul Sacrifice on my Vita, and I've gone as far in that as killing the first partner you have. So I've just opened up the online multiplayer section.
Oh, okay. Even that was locked then.
Yeah, it's locked until you're about like level 6 or mission 6, whatever you want to think of them as.
Okay.
Chapter 6, and then you can have up to 4 people on your quest
at the same time. Yeah. A bit like Monster Hunter or something.
Yeah, and it does kind of play that way.
Yeah, that's what I understand of that game.
Yeah,
that's where my understanding begins and ends, I guess.
So bearing in mind you want to be playing Assassin's Creed, Colm, what have you been playing?
Well, I haven't been that busy this month, actually.
It's been a short month, it has to be said.
Yeah. Well, I finished the first episode of Wolf Among Us.
Nice.
I haven't got around to playing the second one yet. Yeah, I enjoyed it, yeah.
Were you shocked by the cliffhanger ending without spoiling it?
Not really, no. I don't get shocked too much.
No?
Only when I'm playing horror games or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to play the second episode, hopefully, next month.
Hoping the third one will be out soon, but who knows?
You see, with these two, with the Walking Dead one, I more or less waited till all the episodes. I bought the season pass, but I more or less waited. I played the first one and then I more or less waited till the rest of them were out so I could play it all the way through.
Yeah, they haven't quite got the timing right, have they? They need to I think they need to hold the first episode back so they've got a bit of momentum going. And they're making, when one comes out, they're already making 3 or something so they can bring 2 out. Because the 2-3 month wait's too long, really.
No, yeah. I think a month or 5 or 6 weeks after each one would be more appropriate because you tend to have to go back and play the game again or to enjoy the full aspect of it, so played that and I played Rain.
What's that one like? That was one I nearly thought of buying but just before the challenge.
If you like Brothers, if you like that type of game, you'll I really like this game as well, so yeah, I would recommend. It's not that long now, and it's not that hard. It's not overly hard.
Is it one you could finish in one session, like Brothers was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the same time. Yeah. Well, I didn't finish Brothers in one session because I'm not that good at games. So I don't think I've ever managed to finish a game in one session. Probably Esther was the only game I ever finished in one session.
To be fair, the only reason I finished it in one session is because I played it during Extra Life. So I sat and did it from beginning to end. so I'm not that amazing. I did brute force.
You're too modest. and I got 100% on that. I had to find you had to do a second playthrough to get to 100%, where you find these orbs after you play it through the first game. These orbs appear in certain parts of it, so you play it through a second time, then more or less get all the orbs. Yeah, the music and I just love the music and the art style of that. And that's basically what I completed this month. I'm playing Jak and Daxter at the moment on the Vita, which from what I hear is very
bad,
jittery and laggy and all. But it's not that bad. They must have fixed it because
they do change the controls in it for the Vita. For example, when I went to Eurogamer with Rob from Last Save Loaded, he was playing the Vita version there, and there's a section on it where you basically have to kill all these critters that are coming towards you, and on the Vita it's all touchscreen on the display to like shoot your let's call them fireballs, but yeah, to shoot the yellow eco.
Oh yeah.
And on the PS3 or the PS2 version, it's basically just hammer the attack button.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it does have little changes like that adapt it for the different console.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I'm a good bit through. It's to me, it's quite a long game.
Are you still on Jak 1, or have you moved on to the second or third?
Oh no, I'm on Jak 1.
Okay.
I'm still doing Jak and Daxter.
So you're still playing the good game out of the trilogy?
Yeah, I always thought the second and third were a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
I never finished them on the PlayStation 2, but I thought I didn't finish Jak and Daxter on the PlayStation 1, but now that I'm playing it through again, there is areas where I recognise, so I must have got a good bit through it,
Yeah, the story does progress well on 2 and 3, if you actually give a damn about the story, but it's I feel it took a step back once it started giving them guns.
Yeah, and the driving sections are a bit of a
they get worse.
Tedious.
They get worse, especially when you have to go rustling, and so you drive around this town with Jak, and then
that's right, yeah.
Daxter leaps out the front and has to ride some sort of emu type thing.
Yeah. So I didn't. The second or third ones, I didn't like it. They had a racer one as well, didn't they? They had a Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, and didn't they? They had Jak X or something like that.
Yeah. I think that was more of a kart game or racing game. I never played that.
No, I do remember playing it with the PS2 online, but it was horrible.
Yeah. And I'm playing BioShock Infinite.
So here's me on the first entry in the series, and there's you at the end. Are you main storyline, or are you DLCing?
Main storyline.
Okay.
Really liking it. Really liking it at the moment, and it's such a different contrast to the BioShocks 1 and 2, where they were in dark, dreary, scary places. Like where this one's a nice and bright and open and fresh. And
have you fallen off one of the little platforms yet? Or can you not do that?
Oh, the rail things?
Well, no, I mean, everything's all flying little islands, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're on these rails,
yeah.
So you just press X and you go on the rail and you just whiz along on the rail. And so I haven't tried to fall off it yet, but I don't think you can that easily. Probably, yeah, but I haven't come across them yet, so I'm thankful for that. Now that you've mentioned it, lads, I probably will start falling off it now. And that's, well, the other game I want to hold back on until later on, probably. So that's me done for the moment. But Jak and Daxter, I'm enjoying that now at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a long old game, but
funnily enough, I remember playing Jak 1 on the PS2. I remember it was another one of these games that I took home. I bought it a game on the Friday. I took it home and I sat and played it for something like 12 hours straight on the Sunday. And then took it back. And at the time, games did this thing where it was like, you could bring it back within 10 days for any reason and they would take it back. So I just buy games, hardcore them, and then go back and go, right, I finished this, it's crap. Can I have a new game, please? I just use them as a games rental service.
Yeah, classic. I remember doing that with one of the games I didn't like, and for some reason I went back to GameStop, I think at the time, because I bought it there, and some reason just this thing just comes out of my mouth, and he says, "Why did you not like the game?" I said, "Nah, it wasn't my cup of tea." Well, your man just broke his crap laughing at me. It wasn't. What do you mean it wasn't your cup of tea? Well, it wasn't my cup of tea. And I kept saying it, and I was going, "What the fuck are you saying?" to myself, like at a Homer moment. So he changed it for me, all right.
Fair enough. Well, that brings us on to Mr. Adam Decker. What have you been playing?
It's been a busy old month for me, so I feel like I've barely played anything. Work's definitely going the way of anything related to life. I have managed to beat 3 games, I suppose. I'm very happy to announce I finished The Binding of Isaac. I couldn't be happier.
Have you finished it though, or have you completed it?
Well, okay. The credits of
that's what I count as finishing then.
Yeah. I've still carried on playing it since then because I'm not sure how many. I know of at least 2 other bosses. So what it does is it lets you play past what was the previous ending if you reach it again. And there's new bosses and stuff. So I've beaten it once. That's enough for me to be able to knock it off the pile of shame.
And do you like wearing a bra on your head?
I love wearing a bra on my head.
Is it the bra or the coat hanger? What's better?
Coat hanger's a bit uncomfortable. Bra's surprisingly comfortable. Lipstick too, those red heels.
And for anyone that doesn't know, these are items in the game.
Thanks for pointing that out. So yeah, I finished that. Still been playing a little bit, not as much. I finished Batman Arkham Origins, which I'm pleased to say got better as I went along.
Good.
I feel like the problems I said last time with the pacing kind of wear off. It focuses on one of the villains in particular. Once Batman realises where things are going, I suppose, he's on to what's going on. So it's fun. Finished it just before they announced the new one, so I'm looking forward to that. Which comes out in October, I think.
On next-gen console?
On next-gen only, yeah.
Only?
Yeah. They said that if they produced it on current-gen, it would have held them back a bit too much. What they could do with the game. You might have to sneak in your son's bedroom to play that one.
Well, no, because it'll come out.
That just sounds wrong.
It'll come out after his Hero Shames ended, so he'll have bought himself another console.
Well, that depends on the terms and conditions. If they haven't been extended.
Oh, yes. More on that later.
So, and the final game, I guess, is beaten, again in like inverted commas, is Titanfall. We'll get on to me clearing the PayPal fund out, but later on. But I bought Titanfall. It has this campaign of sorts where you play through 9 multiplayer missions with a kind of story wrapped around it all. So I beat that the day I got it. I'm still playing Titanfall, obviously. I'm 1 level away from being able to do their equivalent of Prestige, which is Generations. So I'm hoping to get up there soon. It's been a bit of a slog. I've been on level 47 for about 2 weeks because I haven't been able to play much.
Now, have you found... Because I've heard a lot of people have started saying it's turned into let's sit on rooftops and start just camping.
Yeah, there are a few people that do that, but I do find that because of how the verticality of it all and how mobile you are, you can just as easily just run around the rooftops and pick up easy kills, killing the camping people. But yeah, there are some spots where there's one in particular on a level where you can get really up high on like this ravine thing and you can just hide up there and snipe people. It's pretty hard to get up there. But all in, still love it. Think the Titans and the jetpacks add a lot to it. Push it. Like, I'm not a fan of Call of Duty by any means, but I'm definitely enjoying this. So yeah, that's my beaten games. My current games, I'm still on with The Witcher. Maybe managed about another 5-6 hours of that. I'm up to the 2nd chapter now. Still really enjoying it. Like, I just love the fiction and stuff. It's drawn me in. Just to say, it's not aged particularly well. It's a bit like Dragon Age in its like clicky nature, and you can pause the action to do things. But similar to Dragon Age 2 a bit as well, you get like trapped in certain areas and you're dealing with like the politics of that particular town and stuff. Still really fun. It's still going to be a long time till I finish that. When I look on like websites, it looks like it's at least 40 hours. I've been playing. I did finally load up Spud's Quest to play that I talked about last month. So we already talked about how it's a bit of a Dizzy ripoff.
Yeah,
right.
A bit of a Dizzy ripoff is not doing it justice. It is whole hog, right down to the fact.
Do you have boxing gloves for hands?
I don't know how. Okay, yep. So yeah, there's that. I don't know what you remember about Dizzy, but like, there's one of the games.
He's an egg with red shoes, and that's about it.
Yep.
Yeah, red shoes and red hands.
Okay. Yeah, but it's in one of the games at least. They all the other eggs live in tree houses and stuff. So do these Spuds. There's a puzzle where you have to hold a heavy rock to weigh yourself down to solve a puzzle. There's a boat that's missing a motor so you can get across a river. There's a mine that you need to use an old pickaxe to cut part of. The castle is identical to the castle from Prince of the Oak Folk. They whole hog stole this game.
But isn't it just as well, because there was supposed to be a Kickstarter for Dizzy to be rebooted, but it failed, didn't it? It didn't happen.
Oh, did it?
It didn't happen, as far as I know. As far as I was reading, it didn't happen. So
yeah, well, these days, if Kickstarter campaigns are successful, then you give it a while, make it get your press, and then go, here you go, Facebook.
That's very true. Dizzy coming to a Facebook channel near you.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on it actually, and I can't work out. And the weird thing is, so they released this game a few years ago as like a free download. So all the walkthroughs I can find are for this old version, and they changed all the puzzles up. So I'm completely stuck. No idea where to go. So put that one down for now. We'll go back to it. And then I guess my main game has been the game that the Twitter followers voted for, much to my disgust. It was the one I said I could leave because I've tried to play it 3 times before, and it's Bully. And third time was not a charm. I still hate this game.
Yeah.
I don't. So it's a PS2 game originally, I guess, that generation. So it's obviously aged.
And then it was ported to the Wii as well.
Yeah, Wii and Xbox 360 as well, yeah. But I just don't think the voice acting's very good. It's not up to their usual standards. When you think it came in between the GTA games, they were brilliant, and this isn't. I don't like any of the characters. I don't like the whole battle you're constantly fighting with, doing missions versus going to class. It's just annoying. So if you come out of your bedroom and you've got a mission right there, it's like, right, I could sit and do this mission now, but I'm going to have to face up to the fact that I'm going to become truant, and then it's going to make the mission harder. Or I could run all the way to the school, do a boring lesson, then come all the way back to the mission point to start the mission. And everyone's always said, it gets better once it opens up. I've got to the point where I can go to the bit where it's opened up, and I still hate it. My timer tells me I've only done about 10%, and I can't believe that I've only done 10%.
Maybe this is another one of these games where you complete it and you've only actually done 20% of the game.
That's true, but I don't think so. I'm absolutely gutted. I can't believe it. So next month when I pick my games, I'm going to be a bit more careful because I'm not playing something I hate again.
Well, it worked out for me, okay. I love Deus Ex now, so
that's very
still
true.
won't play it again, but
exactly. I've read recently there's rumours of a new Bully game, and it's like, no, don't waste your time. Bring something else out first. Give me another Red Dead first.
A lot of people like it.
It's not me. I know. I wrote on Twitter the other day that I was finding it hard, and 2 of my friends replied, and they were like, I don't know what you're talking about, you stupid, and stuff. It's like, no, this game's rubbish. So that's what I've been playing anyway. So we are going to trapeze our way right over to what have you picked up? And before we start, we've all got to say thank you to Justin Knowles.
Thank you.
Because he gifted us all a copy of Freedom Force.
Yeah. Which
is a game I've always wanted to play, actually, and never picked up. It's a, I guess, point-and-click, like, superhero game.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thanks, Justin.
I've played a bit of it, yeah. It's good.
Oh, you did play some of it? Okay.
I did, yes.
I downloaded it. I haven't...
I like the humour in it. Yeah. The humour's good.
Yeah.
Characters' humour.
So, anyway, thanks for that.
Thank you, Justin.
So, Justin.
Yes.
So, other Justin, what have you picked up this month?
Okay, so what I've picked up this month actually seems incredibly small because I picked up Smart As and Pixel Junk Monsters HD on the Vita as part of the PlayStation Plus for March. Yep. The reason that's all I picked up is because the other two titles I already owned.
Oh, okay, what were they?
Tomb Raider and I can't remember what the other game was off the top of my head.
I'm staring at a blank sheet here. I don't know. It wasn't BioShock. That was last month.
I can't remember, but it was something.
Oh, Brothers.
Yeah. Brothers. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and as next week's PS Plus has just been announced, it's yet another version of let's have a game in a sale that Justin's going to spend those few remaining pennies he's got, and then 2 months later we'll go, yeah, let's put it in the sale. So coming up next week, I will have picked up, surprise, surprise, Hotline Miami is going on PS Plus.
I had that as well. I have that as well. Yeah.
They've also said Pro Evo Soccer 2014, Mercenary Kings, and Sly Cooper Thieves of Time?
Oh yeah,
the new one,
the fourth one, yeah.
Which I haven't played, but Rob did play on My Save Loaded, and he said it was great. And you also get MotoGP 13 on your Vita too.
God, it feels like with those two sports titles, they're stretching it a bit.
Pro Evo Soccer, that's
struggling.
The latest one as well.
Yeah. It didn't sell very well.
No.
You can see it was cheap enough as well, like, because it's only last gen, so they didn't come.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it'll be more up to date than my copy of FIFA 11 that's floating around. And for people that do have a PS4, they'll get Mercenary Kings. The other thing, which again I don't count this as picked up because I already had it, or I've completed it on the PS3, was Origin were giving away Dead Space for free.
Yep. Very kind of them.
So as I've already completed that and I've platinumed that, I have not bothered downloading it, but it's always a nice one when we picked up that tip off It's All Star, and I tweeted that out saying, it's always nice when someone lets us know of free stuff that we don't have to spend money on, thereby keeping us within the realms of our year of shame. He says, hesitantly waiting for upcoming items later in the show. So that's all I picked up.
Yeah.
Actually,
okay.
No, I will say one more thing. I did go and visit my friend in Birmingham for his birthday and gave him his copy of, ready for this? Lego Star Wars Trilogy, which I'd picked up for £10 for him. Gave him a copy of Final Fantasy XIV for the PS3, which I'd also picked up for £10, and I'd also given him a copy of XCOM The Bureau, as in the shooter, which I'd also picked up for £10, as well as a Lego A-Wing. So you
cool.
Can't go wrong with a bit of Lego. And I did come home because I'd taken my fight stick up for him to try. I did get told to go home with a copy of PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale because he doesn't have a Vita, and he went, well, you might as well have that then.
Cool.
So yes, I have picked up PS All Stars Battle Royale, but I have not downloaded it, and we just we played a little bit on the PS3 and confirmed it definitely does not have anywhere near the atmosphere of Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
No, from the bit I remember playing the demo, or I suppose it was a beta, And yeah, it does feel a bit soulless by comparison.
Yeah. And it's definitely one that's going to be on the PlayStation
Well,
Plus
we thought I'd imagine probably at the when the E3 when they do the annual games that they'll drop Little Big Planet karting and they'll either put that in or who knows, something else.
Yeah.
So Adam, talk us through the rest of the PayPal fund.
So if last month was the month where I went mental. This month I've christened this month The Purge. I decided to get rid of the PayPal account. So just
could
for the
just
record,
bought a TV or something.
Could have done. Just for the record, I'm just going to double check how much is left in it, but it's it's an inconsequential amount of money. I'm not going to go buying anything with it. So after I bought all of this I'm about to describe, I am left with... Oh, there's one thing I left off, actually. I'm left with 73 cents.
Nice.
So I'm probably pretty much done.
So we can't say you've lost all your cents.
No. Oh, God.
It sounded funnier in my head.
That got me. That was good. Oh, I've lost my train of thought completely now. Okay, the list of games I picked up, and I'll discuss why I picked them up. I was peeved that I finished Simon the Sorcerer 2 and it finished on a cliffhanger. Thankfully, Good Old Games, I was browsing them and they were doing a sale, so I picked up Simon the Sorcerer 3D for $1.79.
This is the one you said was awful, isn't it?
It was awful, yes. Yeah. So
you did say that, yes, I remember too.
I did say that, because it got changed into a 3D game partway through development from being a point-and-click game. They made their own engine that wasn't running very well. It's apparently really bad, has really bad controls, and the puzzles aren't as clever as the past. So I picked that up for $1.79. We already discussed Titanfall that I picked up. The Walking Dead Season 2 went for sale on Steam, and I picked that up. I've played Season 1 on the PS3, but I also, such is the way of somebody that's now doing a year of shame, for whatever reason, I also picked up The Walking Dead on PC last summer because it was going cheap, even though I already owned it. So I'm going to replay through Season 1 on the PC and then eventually start with Season 2.
Go on, try and be as evil as you can and kill anyone that you get a chance.
I'm trying to do as accurate a playthrough as I can remember from my previous one. But then I thought it's a good game to get because it means I'm still going to be getting regular content every few months once they bring out the new episodes.
Right.
Hot on the back of finishing Binding of Isaac, I was kind of like, wow, I really love roguelikes. I need to play more. And one went on sale for $1.66 called Receiver. And it was on Steam again. It's a first-person shooter where you have to pick up these tapes that piece together a story. When you're dead, you're dead. What the unique mechanic is use the keyboard to control it, and it has realistic reloading. So you have to kind of almost doing, I don't know, yoga with your fingers, trying to reload the gun by pressing the keys in certain orders and stuff. So it looks kind of fun. Not played it yet.
Sounds a nightmare.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does actually.
And you only have 6 bullets in each gun, so the reloading becomes a constant issue. But I thought for $1.66 it sounds fun. BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea Episode 2 just came out. And I hadn't had any interest in it, but then I found out that it kind of wraps some of the story of BioShock Infinite out. You find some stuff out about Elizabeth. You find out some other stuff about the greater universe. So I just went and bought the season pass. I thought I may as well get the season pass for $20 whilst it still exists. What with the rational kind of dissolving, you don't know if the season pass is going to disappear and then it become more expensive. So I bought both of those 2 episodes as part of the season pack, downloaded them, not started them yet. Looking forward to finishing that story. And then something on this that's not on this list that's on my other spreadsheet was Fable Lost Chapters went on sale for $1.49 on Steam. I really liked Fable on the Xbox, but I don't have an original Xbox now. So I thought I'd just pick it up. Something I might replay through one day. And the final thing I bought was just for a laugh, needed to waste some money. It was on groupiesbundles.com, I think they're called, and it was the Simulator Bundle 3. And this was one of those ridiculous bundles that comes with like a farming game, Woodcutter Simulator 2013.
Isn't the new one the new one that's doing the rounds is Goat Simulator?
Yeah, Goat Simulator.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's got quite a good looking one though, called Police Force as well, where you're like in charge of the police and you're driving around the streets and stuff and towing cars and all sorts. That was more just for. They're not games I intend to play from start to finish, but I think I might have some fun streaming them, and if I get some viewers and stuff.
Just tell me you didn't get Forklift Truck Simulator, because I've seen a Let's Play on that.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that one. I'm trying to think what the other one. Oh, there was a Ski Tycoon Simulator. Let me just look. There was another one that was ridiculous. Can't remember what. Anyway, let's move on. But yeah, so they're just for a bit of fun. They're not games I'm gonna like religiously sit and play and beat from start to finish. So that was my purge, guys. Feel pretty good for it.
Some purge.
Yep. I got things I wanted. I got stuff, so I'm still going to be getting new games. That means now I've got over the course of the rest of the year, I'm still going to be getting my Wolf Among Us episodes and now Walking Dead episodes. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And then I've got Titanfall, which is going to stay relevant for quite some time. So, that's why I picked up Colm. Would you like to share with us what you've been playing that's new?
I like the clearing your throat. Like this is gonna be a good one.
Okay. Well, I have. I'll start off innocently. I bought Rain on the sale on PSN because I still had PSN points left.
Yep.
From Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.
Right, so I bought that.
Yep.
As you know already, it was very good. I still have €8.03 left. I don't know how I'm going to get rid of the 3 cent, but I've been looking at Fez. So
that's in my list for my next vote as the game I hate.
Oh right.
Because I loved it in the build up to it, but having now played it, I just don't like it.
All right, okay.
If that was to unfortunately win the vote, I'd have to restart it because I've got so lost with it. It's a really confusing game. So maybe watch some Let's Play of it or something, because it's a bit more detail other than the fact it's a platformer.
Yeah.
See how you feel about it.
Well, thank you. I might just skip that and miss. And basically, I had a bit of a meltdown, and I picked up Resident Evil Revelations for €20.
€20? Where did that €20 come from?
Well, you see, I wasn't. I started cycling to work, so with my €25 that I was saving on train fare, which is €25 a week, I decided I'd get the Resident Evil for €20.
Okay.
The funny thing is, the worst thing is, I actually played this game on the 3DS and finished it, and I really enjoyed it. So double dipping was worse. I'm sorry. Yes, I should stop talking now because I'm digging myself a bigger hole.
It's just, I didn't know you played it. That does kind of make it worse. You broke it. For something you've already played.
Okay, and the gas thing is, I haven't got around to playing it yet. Okay, which makes it worse. So then last weekend I was away with my good lady wife, and she kindly bought me 2 games. Okay, I'll use that term loosely. I bought them and she gave me the money for them. The Splinter Cell Blacklist for the Wii U, which was €10.
Okay.
And Kid Icarus 3DS for €18.
Now, have you got the special adapter for the game?
Yes.
Right.
I got the box and all.
Yeah.
It was in CEX. It was actually new. The seal was still on it, so all that stuff is done. So my total disgraceful payout is €48 for this month. Okay. And yes, I do hang my head in shame, lads. And I wouldn't blame you if he's wanted another host for the show, because
I think after Terry last year, I think that there's no way we could we could let you go. You've got to be kept on as the shining beacon of how to not do it.
I'm Terry's replacement.
I just want to know how. So when you were buying them, did you at anything think, oh God, I'm going to have to tell the lads, or did you just? Or
did you get home and then go, oh crap, what have I done?
Yeah, I just want to know your mental state whilst you went through this.
I hadn't taken my tablets that day, so that's probably what it was. No, seriously, I hung my head in shame when I was handing over the money, but I said, the first one wasn't too bad, the Resident Evil, because I said, well, I have an excuse for this one, but last weekend, I don't know what it was, we went away, I was having a good time. Yeah, I was having a good time, and, the missus went off one way, and I went off the other way, and ended up in GameStop and CEX,
Well, as long as you didn't try and rationalise it by saying I'm in a different area code, so
that's a good.
I'm bringing back a souvenir.
I don't think I have the clout for doing that, but I'll think about that the next time. And so that's basically my month of shame, and I do apologise, lads. I've let the team down. And, that's basically it. I'm sleeping better at night since I sent the email, so I'm happy.
Adam, do you think we should do thoughts and feelings next before we do missing stuff?
Sure. Yeah. It would make more sense, actually.
Okay.
If we sort of went... Because, Colm, you're not the only person that's fallen off the wagon this month.
Ooh, thank God for that.
So you are only human, along with some of our listeners, I'm afraid.
This has been a bit of a sad month.
Yeah, we reached the halfway point, and it's like people thought, yeah, halfway, I could definitely do this for a year. I'll just stop now. It's okay. I've proved I can do it for half of the time.
Yeah, so...
Well, the 50% is 50%,
So in memory of the fallen... I had noticed toward the start of the month that Welsh Benno had we said last month he'd been struggling, and he didn't manage to keep his year of shame going last year, so it was a good challenge for him to see if he could do it this year. And he'd been harping on about, I need to buy a new PC, and I'd been going, no, don't get it, because if you buy a new PC, you'll just go, oh, shiny, Steam sale, etc.
And then I said to him as well, that's one of the reasons I started, because I got the new PC and my Steam collection shot up to the hundreds.
Yeah.
And he agreed with us. He thought our advice was good.
Yeah, he said, I'll fair play, I'll do that. And then I saw him pining for the EA Sega bundle.
Yeah.
And I sort of said to him, look, this is breaking point for you, isn't it? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, look, I can't let you come this far and see you fall. So I said, give me a Steam email, and then I basically put my hand in my pocket and I bought the Sega bundle for him.
Mm-hmm. Very kind of you.
Extremely kind.
And obviously he was a bit overwhelmed by that, and he was showing a lot of love for me, which thank you very much.
In what way? Sorry, showing a lot of love for you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Saying that his faith in humanity was restored and all this.
All right. Okay.
And and there was me thinking that I've done a good thing. But perhaps I had made him actually think there's actually more games out there, because within a week of me doing that...
So you pushed him over the edge, basically.
I think he managed to somehow get about another 100 games.
Oh, sorry. It just makes me feel so much better now.
He actually managed to get 99 games, because his tweet was, I may have had a little blip this week. My Steam library seems to have gone from 2 games at the end of last week to 101.
Now, I thought he'd done the clever thing and cashed in our code for the Steam bundle that we offered up last month.
Yeah.
But I think you said that has actually remained unclaimed at the moment.
Yeah, no one's taken that still.
Okay, well,
despite me tweeting a couple of times about it.
I would say if you give it a week until after this show comes out, give it a week, and if it's not been reclaimed, as you're the one that purchased it, I would say it's yours to keep.
Yes.
You know, because you haven't bought it for you bought it to give away.
Exactly.
But
that was after I stole that Monaco code, though. Let's be honest. Let's not forget that bit.
But yeah, so that was the first of the Fallen, and immediately off the back of that, we had Stevie B say, "Yeah, the madness has set in, and I picked up a few games. I completely capitulated. # shakes head in shame." And then didn't we get an email, Adam?
Oh yeah,
from someone in Dublin.
Maybe yes. We did. Let me just. I'll just read you this one. This story sounds familiar, but I'll go through anyway and read it all. Hi lads, I've had a bit of a meltdown this month. No, not a mental breakdown, but a gaming purchase meltdown. Firstly, I picked up Resident Evil Revelations for €20. My excuse, although pretty lame, was I was cycling to work, so I was saving €25. Then I went away at the weekend, and the wife bought me 2 games: Splinter Cell Blacklist Wii U version for €10, and Kid Icarus 3DS for €18. That's the shameful thing. Since September last year, I've been able to retain some level of control, but this week I basically fell apart. I feel bad enough, but I have to come clean so I can sleep at night, lol. Anybody know who that came from?
Just haven't a clue, man. Well,
it's funny, they share a name with you, Colm. What are the chances? So Colm felt the need to come clean before we recorded and sent us both an email.
Yeah, and we did then have some tweets off Welsh Bano after he obviously said, "Guys, I'm feeling the need to confess. # guilt ridden. I may have had a little blip this week. My Steam library seems to have gone from 2 games at the end of last week to 101, as Adam just said there. And I said, no, not after I bought you the Steam bundle." To which he replied, "I feel awful for that exact reason. You have restored my faith in humanity, but the bug bit me again. My challenge is over after just 4 months. I will continue listening to your excellent show and supporting you guys throughout." Now, I do, as I've suggested before, I do really sort of thank the people that tried to give it a go. And if this is where your journey ends on your year of shame, I hope you learnt something from it. And those of you that are still on board with us, well done to you. And however you may be trying to fly games under the radar without telling people, you're only kidding yourself.
You see, I put this down to March Madness. It's March Madness. It's March. You know, just before Easter. It's just crazy when people went crazy. Well, I say people. I just me and Welsh.
And Stevie. Okay, well, that was a rather shameful and sad thoughts and feelings. We're going to carry on with the misery and talk about what we've been missing.
It's the misery.
So Justin, what have you been missing this month?
Okay, I've actually been missing having a PC that's worth a dime.
Okay.
I bought this PC for £300-400 about 4 years ago.
Okay.
So Windows 7, and it had an onboard graphics card which would just about run StarCraft 2, even though it would occasionally come up with a big message at the top going, "You are slowing down the game for everyone else. Please consider closing down some background applications." And I'd always think, I've got every background application closed and I've got this on minimum settings. The game is running. I don't see what the problem is. And where I'd been playing Hearthstone, I didn't realise, but it had been downloading the patches for StarCraft 2. So my friend that I'd just been to see up in Birmingham, we were meeting up for our sort of fortnightly game session online, and we said, "Oh, let's give StarCraft 2 a game because it's patched on my PC." Well, sure enough, it ran, but it did kind of chug to a severe halt and run to about 1 frame every 3 seconds, and it pretty much meant that I am not going to be able to play StarCraft 2 ever again.
Damn it.
Not unless I buy a new PC, which I have no plans to do.
No.
I've never really been... Well, I was a PC gamer sort of 15, 20 years ago, but now I much prefer the simplicity of the consoles, and my PC is something that I do word processing and browsing the internet on.
Yep.
And so having a laptop prevents me from many PC games running, and this month's competition, I picked up the EA Humble Bundle, and I'm going to be giving it away. Obviously, I would like to be able to run it, but my PC is not going to run it. And
so what delights has this got in it then?
This one is the one that has Plants vs. Zombies, and it's like PopCap games, basically. Peggle, Bejeweled, I think, off the top of my head.
Zumo or whatever it's called.
Yeah, so it's basically puzzle games. Hang on, I'll see if I can actually find out what's included in it.
Peggle Knights?
Yes, that will be.
It hasn't got Battlefield 4 anyway, has it?
No, it hasn't, no.
Were you going to try and enter if it did?
Although the current one has Battlefield 3, Dead Space 3, Dead Space 1, Crisis 2, and Burnout Paradise in it.
That's good.
The Humble Origin Bundle. Right. The Humble Bundle weekly PopCap titles is Peggle Deluxe, Bejeweled 3, Bookworm Deluxe, Feeding Frenzy 2 Deluxe, Escape Rosecliff Island, Plants vs. Zombies Game of the Year Edition, Peggle Knights, and Zuma's Revenge. So my PC would actually run these. Having said that, if I won the code, I'd probably give it to my mum, because she likes her puzzle games. Mm-hmm. Now, what I would like, if you want to be in with a chance to win this one, is to send us a tweet or an email just with hashtag EAREvil.
Okay.
Because obviously the perception is that everyone thinks EA is evil, yet they were giving away 100% of any takings from this to charity and not making a penny off it. So that was why I put my my hand in the pocket and bought the full bundle here. So yes, send us an email or a tweet just saying EA is evil, and we will put your name in the hat to draw out in the forthcoming few weeks.
Cool.
Okay,
nice one.
Okay.
So that's everything.
Colm, you've picked a few things up. Is there anything you've missed?
I think you've got a bloody cheek if you tell us there's anything you've missed.
Well, the PS4.
It's got a PS4, 72-inch widescreen TV. No, I have missed my sanity and my determination to stick with the year of shame. But apart from that, if anybody's interested, I have Rage, if they'd like to take it off my hands.
What format?
I could PS3.
Okay. You trying to sell it so you've got more money?
To be fair, I think you can actually buy it for about £4.
Yeah, I wouldn't. They'd laugh at me if I brought it back to the shop. So I'm going to give it away to of our followers. Basically, they're not even going to bother with a competition for this one. I'm just going to say the first one to tweet me, Rage, just Rage, gets it, and I'll post it out to them.
Cool.
Probably minus the box, because the weight of the package will be less, depending on where it's going.
Yeah, that's true.
But it'll have the rest of the instructions and all that stuff. I'll even throw in the cover. Yeah, so anybody who wants Rage, I love that game. Loved it. So, It's a few years old now, but it still looks great. Still looks great in PS3.
Yeah, I've still got a copy of it here.
Yeah, so
I can't take it off your hands, I'm afraid. I've got my own.
Adam, you have it?
No, I already have it on PS3 as well.
Okay. Have you played it?
Yep.
Finished it?
Yeah, finished it. Enjoyed it. I think we talked about it last month or the month before.
Mm.
Yeah.
Last month I finished it, yeah. Okay, so just tweet me Rage and you can have it.
Cool. Lots of goodies.
People are going to be rage tweeting you now.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will be raging about something else too when they hear this podcast going out. Shameful.
Just thinking about these giveaways that we're doing. Bearing in mind that the last month's bundle didn't go. If you happen to download the podcast after about 2-3 weeks, obviously we'll be approaching the next recording. Don't give up thinking, it will already have been given away. Because don't forget, last month's Agent 47 comp, we got most of those quite sinister entries in right at the end of the month.
Yeah, that's true.
So people had obviously been spending a bit of time thinking about how they could send it in.
Yeah. That's very true.
Well, they don't need to think about my one. They just rage, man. You know?
Yeah.
Couldn't be simpler.
Yeah, give it a go, and you never know. You might be a lucky person.
It's very true.
Grant. Adam?
I didn't miss anything this month, really, because I went on my purge, so I'm happy. And without further ado, we are going to go on to our listener mail, because we did get some other listener mail that wasn't related to people failing.
We got some positive mail.
So our first is from our good friend at Kev Atkinson, and he said, "Hope it's going well, guys. Question is, which game have you missed buying the most?"
This is Kev Atkinson, otherwise formerly known as Drunk Rogue.
Drunk Rogue, yeah.
Yes.
Who's been with us from the beginning.
And with last year's journey.
And with last year's, yeah. So, guys, what games have you missed the most? Or which game, singular, I guess he's asking, have you missed buying the most?
Well, I think Colm's obviously missed Titanfall.
Yeah.
Just by about 3 feet or 4 feet away from me. That's all it is. That's worse, you know.
True.
I've missed the game that I'm really missing this month. It's got to be Infamous. I would be all over that game like a rash if I had a PS4.
That's incredible.
I think for me, the game I've missed buying the most is probably Dark Souls 2, because that's current and everyone is well into that at the moment. As I said last month, I was very, very lucky to have been sent a copy of Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition, and I've yet to play that. And the way I'm going, it'll be a few months before I get round to it. But that's the one thing that I kind of feel like I've missed the boat on, especially when that's the generation of console that I'm active on at the moment.
Yeah. And it's kind of never going to be the same again by the time you come to get it. There'll still be people playing it, I'm sure, but it's being part of that zeitgeist, isn't it, as it first comes out.
Yeah, when you're learning how to fight the boss rather than just watching how everyone else killed it, yeah.
Yeah, and you feel like you're part of a greater community.
Yeah.
I don't know what but I guess more mine would be missing picking up indie games on the PC. There's been quite a few come out, like, I really wanted Nidhogg, which is like this weird fencing game. And there's another one coming out called Crawl. I guess those two, really. Because that's one of the reasons I bought my PC, I guess. And then I went crazy with Steam and realised I had to stop. So, yeah, I'd say them two. That's everything.
Would you consider yourself more of an indie PC gamer than a console?
I guess I picked up my PC, because my PC is not super powerful. It's just a laptop. I guess I picked it up more for when the missus is using the TV and I've got stuff I can just jump into little by little. So the indie games kind of suit that, because a lot of them are shorter form games or games you can jump in and out of. So I guess that's probably what I'm missing the most. Being able to pick up the current flavour of the week in indie games, and because they're so cheap, you do tend to pick them up at that faster rate. And I guess I have. When I was doing my number crunching with my PayPal fund, I did consider picking up Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, but then I kind of thought it was a waste of money. It was kind of between that, BioShock. It was between buying just that or getting BioShock and The Walking Dead. And I was like, the BioShock DLC and The Walking Dead are going to give me a lot more content for the same amount of money, because, as we all know, you can finish Ground Zeroes in less than an hour, apparently. So yeah,
I've heard it being done in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes if you speed run it. Yeah,
That's mad.
Maybe even quicker by now. So I guess it's like the indie game as a whole, and then I guess the single like console game would be Metal Gear, I suppose. And we have one other tweet. If someone would like to read it out from @SciStevens.
That's how Stevens. Pretty much halfway now, guys. How are you finding it? And more importantly, Kit or DeLorean?
You can't be Irish and not be able to pronounce the DeLorean.
Okay, well, some of us are slower than others.
Think about that massive landfill in Belfast.
DeLorean,
factory.
There's lots of them landfills in Belfast. It's not the only one. So, yeah. So that's a Kit or DeLorean?
Difficult question. Kit talks to you and can jump, but DeLorean, from the end of the first film onwards, can fly.
Yeah.
And can change time. But can rip a hole in the space-time continuum. But if I could go to the future, get myself a sports almanac and successfully turn my future into, Biff Tannen's alternative reality, then,
Why the hell not?
That's got to be better than a car that just,
talks.
Yeah, it can put fast forward on the video recorder and make it look like you're driving really fast with turbo boost.
Yeah. The thing is, as cool as Kit was, they didn't really do a lot of cool things in the show.
No.
Like, he would jump over, it would, like, boost over a wall and something, like using a conveniently placed ramp.
Yeah.
And weird stuff like that. It could have been so much cooler than it actually was. And then, I guess when they made that new TV show, they tried to make Kit cool and stuff, and nobody liked it.
But didn't they also follow it up with, like, Knight Rider 2000 that had motorbikes or something? I seem to recall something. I steered clear of it, but I seem to recall something.
Kit was put into like a red car or something. There was another Kit that was like a horrible computer.
Oh no, they had one that was supposedly with Michael Knight's son, and he had a Mustang.
Yeah, I think that's I think that was the pilot that became the mini movie that became the TV series. And then there's another movie where he goes into where I think Michael Knight might be cryogenically frozen or something, and they have to wake him up. I can't remember.
Well, anyway,
could even be making that up.
DeLorean every time.
Yeah, DeLorean for me every time. It's an iconic car. I've been trying to get us to get. There's a guy near here that has one that's kitted out to look like the Back to the Future car, and I've desperately been trying to say, can we have it for the wedding? And she's not biting. She likes Back to the Future too, but she's still not interested.
No.
So now I've got a 1956 Bentley instead, and I'm like, it's no DeLorean. So yeah.
No.
So I may just I may just hire it for the day for another occasion.
Just for the weekend.
Yeah, just to drive around in, have my fun, and then go.
Yeah, classic.
I guess we should answer the other part of this question about pretty much halfway now, and how are we finding it? Hard.
Well, harder for some, Colm?
Yeah, you're going to get about 2 or 3 months out of this. I know he's Ireland.
I don't know, because it'll be my birthday in June, so...
Me too, actually.
I'm August, you little schmucks.
Yeah, but that means you start getting presents as you approach the end of the year.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend who used to work, or obviously she was a girlfriend years ago, or her birthday was on Christmas Day. It was great. You just bought her a Christmas present.
Yeah.
My father's the day after, so that makes life just as easy. As far as how I'm finding it, I think the biggest thing is there's two ways to look at it. There's the challenge of when you go into a shop, and even as a kid when you had no money, you always walk to the video game section and just stare at the shelves.
Yeah.
But
that's me.
But now I'm at the point where they're just... It's like they're behind the counter now, and I can't ask for them. So for the most part, I don't even pick them up to look at the box art. And I think with the amount of Let's Play videos and things like that there are these days, if there is something that we would really want to share an experience with, then there's ways to facilitate that. Like, Adam, you got into Binding of Isaac because of watching Patrick Klepek on Giant Bomb. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
his daily show, yeah.
So there's ways to get your fix without buying the content.
Yeah, that's true.
And I still have a mountain of games.
Yeah. Besides the point of being at the halfway point, we've still all barely touched our piles, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, what did I say last month? Yeah. I'd been through something like 22 games.
Yeah.
And the games that have been added onto my pile, like I actually went through and updated it with all the recent editions, sorry, not purchases. And like it's beginning. On one hand, I'm feeling like I'm getting ripped off by Sony because I bought games in the sale that I'm now getting free on Plus, and I kind of think, well, surely I should be getting games on Plus that I don't already have. But by the same token, it means that my pile is not getting bigger.
Yeah,
so
that's very true. Yeah, it's kind of helping you out in that respect.
Yeah, I don't want more games I'm not going to have a chance to play.
No, that's very true. Colm, how are you finding it? Aside from your little deviances.
Well, it's like I've had my way now, so it feels like I'm ready to start again. So up until the last month, I was feeling confident, but now I'm a shattered man, and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed, lads. But what can you do? I slipped up.
Yeah.
And just continue on where I left off.
Onwards and upwards.
There is one thing I perhaps could attest to, or confess to, more to the point.
Okay.
Now, I don't have a Wii U, but Colm, you've probably seen there's a certain racing game starring some mustachioed chap that's coming out in the next couple of months.
What's that called? Yeah,
some sort of...
it's a new genre.
Luigi Bus or something like that, yeah?
God, I'd play that. If that was in the simulator bundle.
Well, anyway, there is a exclusive to Europe, or certainly UK, there is a limited edition bundle for Mario Kart that comes with a little red Cooper shell keyring and a blue spiny shell statue. And I know some people in America who are a little bit jealous of this. To the extent where one of them said to me, well, you don't have a Wii U, do you? And I said, no. And they said, well, would you perhaps consider buying the limited edition bundle, splitting the box, taking the game out and selling the game on eBay, or, CX or whatever you can do with it, and then sending everything else to me? And I was like, but how's that going to work? Like, I'm going to end up paying sort of £60 for that. And they went, yeah. But, that comes out in May. It's your birthday in June. There must be something you might want. And I kind of went, well, I can't buy the new Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD remaster. And they went, early birthday present then. So I understand that shipping its way over from North America in a couple of weeks, I might have a copy of Final Fantasy. Now, I want to make this clear. I did not go off looking for that. I was bribed.
It was thrust upon me.
Yes. I am purchasing a copy of Mario, but for a console I don't own, and it's not as if I can send the whole thing over because it's region locked, so I'm going to have to sell the game back. Unless, Colm, it's your birthday in August. And you will have a Region 2 Wii U.
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah. So,
last time I looked.
So what? Perhaps you might be interested in a copy of Mario.
That's a good offer.
It depends on what you're asking for.
Well, it'll be the end of May when it gets sent out. So let's pick this up in 8 weeks.
Oh God! Geez.
Let's see if you've got back on the wagon, or if you're just buying everything going.
Okay, yeah. Oh God. That's to be continued.
I'm going to read the email we've had from Justin Knowles.
Sure.
Which says, obviously, we awarded. Now, people might not be aware. We awarded the 2 second prizes for our Hitman competition. Is that fair to call them that?
Runners up, I guess.
Well, he was one of the people that I sent a copy of Hitman the movie to. And he said, "Hi guys. Firstly, thank you for the Hitman Booby Prize."
Booby Prize.
Okay, now for the reason for this email. I've recently signed the paperwork for a new house and a much, much bigger mortgage, which means money is going to be a lot tighter than it used to be. Added to that is the fact that my PC is about to die and will need to be replaced. So I need to cut down on my gaming expenses. Having already done a Year of Shame challenge, because of course he finished his in Christmas. Mm-hmm. Or the new year. Having already done a Year of Shame challenge, I have no inclination to repeat that event. So I've devised a new challenge for myself. The DAD challenge. The $1 a day challenge. And these are Australian dollars. As you can guess from the name, I will have a budget of $1 per day for my gaming needs. That is $1 which equates to about 65 pence or 90 cents in US money. I reviewed my spending for this month and backdated the start to March 1st. The challenge will continue for as long as I can keep it going. No end date. I'm keeping a spreadsheet to ensure I can track properly. And then he has some rules. The budget is $1 per day, accrued daily, applies to games, DLC and accessories. Okay. Rule 2. Replacing the PC is excluded as it is a family PC. Buying my own PC or laptop would come from the budget. Rule 3. Existing Steam, PSN and Xbox credits have already been spent and don't subtract from the budget. So he's already used his stockpile of existing funding. Mm-hmm. PayPal is effectively cash and counts as being spent from the budget. Funds from selling / trading in games and consoles can be added to the budget. So he can add to his funds extra if he needs to. iOS purchases count against the budget, unlike last year's loophole for some YoS members. And this is, of course, the Year of Shame Year 1, where people didn't consider iOS games to be games. Gift cards can only be used for game purchases at gaming stores, e.g. Game, Electronics Boutique Games, GameStop, Steam, or stores with a significant gaming section, such as Amazon and JB Hi-Fi, not Tesco. Now, I couldn't help but feel that this was aimed at me.
Yep.
Renewal of subscriptions, e.g. PS Plus, Xbox Gold, any monthly MMOs, etc., to come out of the budget. So if he's having I don't know what Xbox Live is these days a month, but what, £10 a month?
60. It's about €60 a year.
Okay, so
£5 a month.
£5 a month then.
Legit.
Okay, that's it in a nutshell. Feel free to ask any questions, and I'll also send in the occasional email to let you know how I'm progressing. At time of writing, it is the 16th of March. Out of my accrued $16, I have spent 99 cents on an add-on for Ascension Chronicle of the Godslayer on iOS, and $11.49 on the GOG Pot of Gold promotion, which netted me about $60 worth of games. Current balance, $3.52. Cheers, Justin Knowles. Now, I went back to him on this, and I said that I think that PayPal money should be treated the same as Adam's PayPal money, in the sense of it's not direct cash.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if you sell something on eBay, that will go into your PayPal, but it might be completely unrelated to gaming. And by the same token, someone could send you money as a gift, and it would go in there. You wouldn't necessarily have all your friends and family donating to your cash for your next game purchase.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, like, he's taking funds from selling, trading in games that can be added to the budget. So I would say treat PayPal in the same way and add that to the budget personally.
Yeah.
Like you said, if he sold stuff on eBay, and it's no different to the trading in and adding to the budget.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think his challenge is really interesting. It's completely different, I guess. It's more interesting in some ways, trying to juggle money around, figure out what you can and can't use it for.
Yeah, because at its core, obviously, there's around 30 days most months. So if you say that's going to be $30 a month, and we've already said you're going to be taking about $5 of that out for Xbox Live, and PSN will probably, I'm guessing he does a year subscription, so that's, well, British money, it's about £35 for a year.
Uh-huh.
So that's a month's worth then, basically, and a little bit more. And, well, I don't know what the games cost over there, but I do know that they're stupidly expensive because I've done some importing for him before. I've bought a load of games in the Morrison sale, which I sent across for him. And over here, if you were doing £1 a day, £30 would, I mean, it might get you a PS3 game or a copy of Ground Zeroes, but it wouldn't get you it'd be a 2-month savings to get yourself some on your new consoles. PC games, admittedly, they probably are around about £30 a month.
Depending on what it is, probably. From Steam and stuff,
Well, you two guys are the Steam experts as far as the podcast goes.
Well, I guess, they're cheaper than retail. I mean... I guess here, like, South Park would be the biggest game that recently got released on Steam, I guess. And that went for, like, $10 cheaper. I think from friends I heard, it went for about £12, £15 cheaper on Steam.
But PC games have always been, 10 or 12 quid cheaper than console games.
Yeah.
They've always been that. They've always been that.
So, so he may be able to get more new PC games, but as you said, he's going to struggle with new console games, Well, thanks for that, Justin.
Yes.
So, reminder for the competition for this month, send us a tweet or email saying EA is evil. And if you want to try and get in on last month's bundle and pick that up before Adam cashes it in, then you need to get in touch with him.
Just tweet me and just at this point just
don't do it.
I don't care.
No, with the Humble Bundles, quick question.
Yeah.
You get a code. Does that code automatically give you everything, or do you select stuff you want from it?
It's different now. You have to link your Steam account to it, and then you click a button to redeem it. Yeah. So you wouldn't actually be giving the code to somebody. You would be giving them the link to activate those codes on their Steam account.
Because I got an email which said, you keep this email and send them this link. Yeah.
So if you're giving away that whole bundle, you're just going to forward them that email with that link, basically, and then they can redeem all of it. If you wanted to gift individual games, there's a way you generate a code to a web address that will just give them that one game. Because I think they tried to do that to stop people literally just posting codes left, right, and centre. So those two prizes, plus Colm's Rage, is being given away. No box, though. So you'll have to find your own box for it.
Hashtag look for Colm's box.
Classic.
And that is it, I guess, for us. So we just have to finish off by saying, follow us on Twitter at YoS Challenge 2. You can also email us yoschallenge2@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitch at Flameboy84. I'm going to try and do a few more things. Maybe try and post a bit before and get a bit of participation from our Twitter followers. Have a bit of fun with it to celebrate 6 months of the challenge. And that's it. And I guess unless anyone else has anything else to add, we are going to say goodbye.
I just want to thank Justin Knowles again for sending us a copy of Freedom Force.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Very kind.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so the circus is closing for this month.
Long rest in peace, those that have fallen.
Yeah. A moment to remember that.
I'm going to drink myself silly now.
Thanks very much, guys.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next
Bye-bye.
month. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.